So after 100 or so attempts, I finally defeat the final boss of the gauntlet using my Mesmer. And here's how. So to start off with, I target her, then I destroy that rift over there, then I throw feedback on her to reflect her projectiles. Some people like to keep those rifts up so that they can rally off of them, but they make me nervous. I've done this fight so many times at this point, I know exactly where to run. That, like right here, I'm going to run to the left of her. I don't even have to dodge out of the AoE because I know that it's not going to hit me there. I throw down Temporal Curtain, and I'm going to drag that vision into it using Into the Void. Whoop, there it goes. It's very useful for this fight. Sometimes it doesn't work, but when it does, it's really great. The Mesmer's Greatsword skill number 5 is a great pushback, knockback. Oh, there it goes. Useful so that you can grab the orbs. And here it just kind of devolves into a battle to stay alive and destroy her before time runs out. During that first part, I used a lot of reflex to keep myself alive. I used feedback, Phantasmal Warden, even my healing skill Mirror as a reflect. And now I'm not even really looking at her, I'm just kind of dropping stuff behind me. I'm dropping the Phantasmal Berserker, which I hope cripples her, Temporal Curtain, which I hope cripples her and gives me swiftness. I'm throwing down Phantasmal Warden, which is hopefully is attacking her and reflecting. I'm not running a Berserker build, so for a little extra damage I brought Mantra of Pain, so I can spike her with some extra damage. Mantra of Resolve, that's my cripple remover. And as for elite skills, there really isn't a useful elite if you're a Mesmer. If you're struggling, I guess I'd recommend using one of your racial skills maybe. I threw down Timewarp because I thought, well, maybe one of my illusions will use it as a combo field and throw some confusion on her, but I don't think it happened. In addition to the Temporal Curtain Into the Void combo and the Illusionary Wave skill, I love the sword skill number 2, Blurred Frenzy. I can stand in... Oh, right there I thought it was going to kill her, but I didn't, so I had to dodge out. It was a narrow, close call. I love Blurred Frenzy because I can stand right in the AoE and not get killed, because it's an evade. And that's what I use to finish her off. Alright, an explanation of the build that I used to defeat Liadri. The first weapon that I brought was the Greatsword. The first skill, Spatial Surge, useful for kiting her. Phantasmal Berserker can damage and cripple her. Illusionary Wave is very useful when you want to make a play for the orb, but you're surrounded by visions. You could just use this to knock them back. Second weapon set, Sword and Focus. The sword's second skill, Blurred Frenzy, is an evade, so you can use this while standing in the AoE and you won't get damaged. It's amazing. Then there's Temporal Curtain. You can drop this next to a portal and use Into the Void to suck a vision into the portal and destroy it. Doesn't always work. Requires some precise aiming, but when it does work, it's great. It can really speed the fight up. And of course later on, this is a useful... not just a combo field, but it gives you swiftness and can cripple her. And Phantasmal Warden, drop this on her to attack her and reflect her projectiles. Then we have Mirror, which is the healing skill that also reflects.
Swift and steady.
Mantra of Pain. I'm traded so that I can use this 3 times and each time just do a little bit of extra damage to her. I don't even have to be looking at her, I just have to target her and I can hit her. It's really great. And Mantra of Resolve is my condition cleansing. I use this to remove the crippling. Feedback is amazing. Put that on her throughout the fight to reflect her projectiles. It's also a combo field. And as for a elite, the Mesmer doesn't really have a useful one for this fight. I brought Timewarp because I thought I could use it in combination with an illusion and it would throw some confusion on her because it's a combo field, but it didn't really do much. So you may consider bringing a racial skill. I heard that the Moa isn't too useful because she becomes very aggressive when you turn her into a Moa bird, and it probably doesn't last very long either. Okay, so let's look at traits. Illusions deal more damage. Increase power to the Greatsword, and reduces the recharge of Illusionary Wave and Phantasmal Berserker. Down here, Phantasms have Fury. Increase precision when wielding a sword, and reduces the recharge of Blurred Frenzy. So this is very useful. And this will allow you to use your mantras an extra time. Reduces the recharge of Glamour skills by 20%, so you can throw feedback on her more often. And Warden's feedback will allow your Phantasmal Warden to reflect projectiles. And also you can cast that in Temporal Curtain more often. For armor, I'm only running a... this is all soldier's gear. I bought it from the temple vendors, except for one piece that I had to buy from a World vs. World vendor with some badges of honor. And I would have bought the runes of Melandru, but they were too expensive, so I just threw on some Centaur runes to reduce the crippling duration and give myself a little extra power. My trinkets are... that one is Rabid, but these are all Ascended Berserker trinkets that they're on loan for my warrior. And I didn't bother to purchase any new weapons, so these are all they're all set for my condition build that I use in World vs. World, which is a Rabid corruption build. If I had any Ascended Berserker gear, I'd probably put that on instead. Maybe something with Sigils of Force. But that's why I brought this mantra here, Mantra of Pain, just to give myself a little extra damage. I didn't need any extra survivability skills because this is a pretty tanky setup with this armor here, this soldier's gear. So, that's it.